This case contains an action camera and a boatload of GoPro accessories. I may never have to buy GoPro accessories ever again. This is the Vikeepro 4K action cam. Let's take a look at it. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is a 4K sport action camera. According to the Amazon description here, sport camera, 170 degree 6G ultra wide angle lens, 1080p 12 megapixel 30 meter waterproof diving camera, Wi-Fi, wrist, 2.4G wireless RF remote control, 32 gigabyte TF card helmet action camera. Gotta love the titles of these things. But the camera itself is capable of doing 4K at 25 frames a second, 2.7K at 30 frames a second, 1080p 60, 12 megapixel stills, has a 2-inch TFT display on it, and a boatload of accessories. So let's open it up and just see what comes in this package. This did not have any external packaging on it. It didn't have any branding or anything. It's just a black, pretty decent looking case. And inside of the case, unfortunately, there's nothing on either side, so nothing to let you know which side is the top. I opened it already just to check. There you go. All kinds of just bits and bobs and things. Probably everything that you're ever gonna need for any sort of GoPro style camera. Waterproof floaty handle grip, head mount, chest mount, USB wall wart, 5 volts at 1 amp, micro USB charging cable, and honestly just an absolute boatload of adapters and clamps and things to hold the camera and GoPro adapters, just every sort of one that you can imagine, with even more over here. A couple of these 3M sticky plates, bike mount, a bunch of additional Velcro and zip ties, some sort of a Velcro strap, a second back plate for this. I seem to remember this is the one that allows the strap to go through it, so that's probably what this is for. All sorts of documentation, including what to do with all of these mounting options. This would be your actual user manual, but it just basically tells you everything you can do with all of the included accessories. Little microfiber cloth, micro USB battery charger, outputs 4.2 volts at 600 milliamps. Here is the actual battery. Model number PG1050, which is 3.7 volts at 1050 milliamp hours, and basically looks identical to all of the other little GoPro style batteries I've been getting lately. You also have a convenient little remote here with what appear to be strap holes on the side. Again, presumably that's what this little strap would be for. You could fit it through here and then put it around your wrist or put it on a bike or something. And last but certainly, and hopefully not least, the camera itself in waterproof housing. So we'll take that out of the waterproof housing just to get a better look at it, and a little screen protector on the back, and what would appear to be a little TF card, a micro SD card in the side. Yes, it is a 32 gigabyte Toshiba Xperia card, and actually it's a U3 micro SD card, so it should be pretty decently fast. Let me clean up all of this and then we'll get right back. And we are back. Everything is cleaned up and moved out of the way. Here is the camera. You can see it has the Vikeepro branding on the front, 4K Ultra HD, Wi-Fi, power button here on the front where the lens is. This is a 170 degree angle field of view lens. Over on this side you have micro USB, HDMI, and micro SD. On the other side there are up and down buttons and what would appear to be the speaker. On the top you have the capture button and what would appear to be an LED. On the bottom is where the battery goes. We're going to go and open that. And actually it looks like it already had a battery in it. Yep, exactly the same. So another PG1050 battery. Don't know if it normally comes with two, but I would assume so. And I guess at this point let's go ahead and power it on. And it just made a noise. Here on the back it says 1080p 60, it says 256.33 for the time remaining. It is in video mode, and you can see it is actually working. Here's our battery indicator. On the top it's red. I guess that means it's armed, it's ready to go. If I tap on the power button on the front, the mode button switches over to 12 megapixel wide stills, and then what would appear to be a burst mode, and a timer or a time-lapse mode. And then we're into the menu. So inside the menu, we got video resolution. And for those 1080p 60, 1080p 30, 4K 25, 2.7K 30, and that's all the options we got there. Looping video, we've got the options for on and off. Timestamp, we've got date and time, and off. Let me go ahead and turn that off. Exposure, you can change the exposure compensation. Photo resolution, you can change it from 12 megapixel wide all the way down to 4 megapixel wide. Burst photo, you can turn it on for 3 photos. Time lapse, you can do every 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 30, and 60 seconds. Continuous lapse, on or off. Power frequency, you can set your 50, 60, or auto. Language, date and time, sound indicator, please turn off. There we go. All the noises are now off. And then upside down, if you wanted to mount it the other way, you could do that. Screensaver, power saver, format your SD card, do a reset, and the version. Version number is ActionCam H9R. You can see all of that right there. And you know what, to go ahead and stick with the resolution of this video, I'm going to leave it on 1080p 60 for right now. I may do a separate clip at 4K 25 if you guys are interested in seeing that. And then to get out, you have to actually come up here to the X and then hit OK. And we are out and we're ready to test it out, I suppose. So I tap on the button, it clicked, and you can see there it is counting now. And at this point we should be recording on the camera. This is using 1080p at 60 frames per second. We're in pretty decent studio lighting here, so this is about as bright as you would expect it to be. Had to do a little bit of looking around in the user manual, but apparently if you're in the camera modes, you can hit playback up. It'll take you to this little menu where you can hit play or whatever this one is. I would assume this is photos, that's videos. So go ahead and hit OK on that. And here's the video I just took. And now it's playing back. All right, very quick chance to take a look at some video there. The audio sounded pretty terrible. Part of that I'm sure is the speaker, and the other part I'm sure is just the microphone, because the microphone on these things is never particularly good. And if I'm looking at it correctly, I think the mic may actually be on this side next to the USB port. Yep, just check the diagram here, it is. And I normally tend to forget to do this. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the Wi-Fi for this. There's an easy iCam app you have to download. Got the app installed now here. That's here to hold the down button. But anyway, let's hit add devices in my phone. There we go. And this app should be available for both Android and iPhone. It says Wi-Fi connection ready, connected to Wi-Fi network. And there you go. As you might expect, it is showing what's on the camera at this point on my phone. It does say here in the manual, connecting to the EasyCam app, 4K and 2.7K not supported. So 1080p 60 should be okay. Anything higher is not going to be working. But here in the options, it says auto white balance, power frequency. We've got a button over here that does your history. So I could watch the previously recorded stuff there. The app so far is quite slow. There's a button here for video and for photo. So if I tap that, it should switch to photo mode eventually. We are now in photo mode, then back over to video mode. And I can only assume that it's in 1080p 60 mode right now. The camera is actually getting quite warm to the touch over on this side. So that's a little disconcerting. Although for this one, because it does have the screen on the back, I probably would not end up using it for Wi-Fi for the most part. I mean, if you wanted to control it remotely, you could either use this little remote or just look at the screen before you set it up. And to go ahead and turn the Wi-Fi off, you just hold this down button for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And I suppose while we're at it, let's just see if this little remote works as well. So I'll tap the button. And it looks like it took a photo while I was doing that, so we'll tap it again. Took another photo. Press the video button, and it beeped to let me know that it was actually recording at that time. And there's actually a couple little LEDs on here, so whenever you push the button, you may be able to see that. It lights up, one for each one. The remote definitely seems to be getting the job done. But you know what, rather than sitting here blathering on about it, I'm gonna go ahead and take this and walk around a little bit, just get some footage in the rest of the house, get some footage outdoors, and then we'll wrap things up. And here we go. This is recording on the Vikeepro 4K camera at 1080p 60. Here's a little quick look at my video making setup. I've got all the lights turned on, of course. But that's not what we're here to see. We're going to take a quick walk around, try this in some different lighting scenarios, some different rooms of the house. So this is my dining room. You can see it's a very nice wide field of view, and this should be getting a little bit dimmer. It's not super bright in there. We'll take it into the living room where there are no lights turned on currently and all the shades are closed and everything. Let's see. Yeah, it looks a little bit grainy, but really, it could be a whole lot worse. I'm curious to see if there's any handling noise from this because I am just holding it. It's a plastic device holding it in my hand. But anyway, let's leave this dimly lit room. We'll go into the dimly lit kitchen and then out to the brightly lit backyard. So kitchen, dimly lit. Let's see how it looks. And then out back. Funny thing is the screen did turn itself off while I was filming, so it's not going to stay on forever. I guess just sort of as a battery saving mode. But again, just looking at the 2-inch LCD, this video does appear to look pretty good. The colors on the screen look a little washed out, but I'm sure they're probably just okay. And that does give you a little bit of a quick sample. And we are back. So all in all, this camera runs $110 over on Amazon, $109.99. Given the quality of the video that I've seen out of it so far and the amount of accessories that it comes with, realistically, it doesn't look like it's that bad of a deal. I've seen cameras that have fewer functions with about the same amount of accessories for about the same amount of money. So to have 4K 25 frames a second video with a few more accessories that I've not gotten with other things like the chest harness and the head mount and the waterproof handle, I think $110 for this is really not that bad of a deal. And I'll go ahead and put a link to where you can find this down in the video description if you're interested. Thanks so much to Vikeepro for sending this out for me to take a look at. Thanks to you guys for watching. Leave a thumbs up down below if you like this video and subscribe to receive more when they become available. And I will see you again next time.